happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is episode 191 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, now Lord Cussalott Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. And I'm joined as always by my co-host, Mara the Shark Watkins.
What up?
How you doing tonight, Mara?
I'm alive. I made really good barbecue chicken for dinner today.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this like, what part of the chicken? You talking chicken titty, like chicken thigh? What's up?
Legs.
Legs. Okay. Got you. So that, you got it's the bone-in chicken. That's what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Sometimes I hear people talking about barbecue chicken. It's like, barbecue chicken, but there's like, the chicken titty and they shredded it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make sure I knew what I was talking about here.
Yeah, with some rice and some string beans. It was good.
Rice has always been a funny thing for me.
It was yellow rice.
Rice, period, is weird for me. I don't like the way rice feels in my mouth, so I don't eat it. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just the texture and the little tiny pieces of it, and kind of just, it feels weird. So I'm just like, no. Even like with burritos and all that kind of stuff, I get it with no rice because the rice just feels wrong. Yeah, I'm weird. I know. I feel the same way about a lot of things, like lettuce. I don't like the way lettuce feels in my mouth. But on top of that, I also feel like lettuce is a waste of space. They use it as filler because it doesn't contribute anything to anything you put it on. It's just there.
I just enjoy it.
But why? Like, what is your fascination with crunchy water? Tell me.
I don't know. It gives it a nice, refreshing, crisp. Like when I have like a nice, crisp piece of lettuce on like a burger, it gives it like this nice, refreshing, crisp taste to it.
There are other things that can give you like a crunch or a crisp that actually contribute to the taste of the sandwich, though, or the taste of the burger.
I don't know. I just feel like something about the coolness of it, like it with the contrast for me, it's just something that tastes and feels good when it's in the mouth.
I guess.
Now I want a burger.
I had a burger today at Dave & Buster's. It was delicious.
Well, I won't be having a burger for lunch tomorrow either because I made lunch today.
Yeah. It was like called like some kind of like the beast bacon burger or something like that I got at Dave & Buster's. It was pretty good. It wasn't as great as I thought it would be. Like I expected more bacon, but they used to have a burger there that was just like a monstrosity that was like most people should not consume it, and I wanted it and I never got a chance to taste it, and I'm a little upset that they don't have it anymore. But that was pre-pandemic that I saw it on the menu.
Yeah. Supply shortage.
Basically, who knows? But we're not here to talk about the food and the availability of certain foods at Dave & Buster's. What we're here to talk about is the Arrowverse on the CW, even though we just found out it really doesn't exist anymore. Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman, Lois, all them niggas. So let's talk about what's left. We got Flash and we got Superman and Lois. Where you want to start, Mara?
Let's just start with Superman and Lois.
How apropos, especially considering what we found out while watching Superman and Lois. I'm like, this is bullshit. But okay, let's talk about it. This episode was called What?
Waiting for Superman.
Yeah, that's really all they did. We did just waiting for Superman to save him. And when he did, it didn't make any sense to me. Maybe you can make sense of it for me. So This episode kicks off. The merger's going down. Things are coming together. Some people are on the Bizarro Earth. Some people are on this Earth, which at the time I thought was Earth Prime. Come to find out, it's not Earth Prime. Who the fuck knew that? I didn't. Any of you know that? Because, you know, when we watched Crisis and after all that happened, we were told there was only one Earth. Now, I also did point out that, you know, if you watch Crisis on Two Earths, if you're following us on Patreon, actually it's on up for everybody else now, because that was a while ago. Mm-hmm. The multiverse, basically in DC, the way they describe it, is created every time somebody makes any decision. You know, an alternate Earth is created. One Earth, you know, one universe where you made the decision, another universe where you did not. So since Crisis, there have been several universes created, if you follow that logic, that has been laid out by DC in their DC properties. Mm-hmm. However, if we were to say that it all started with Crisis, because at that point in Crisis, Oliver as Spectre merged all Earths to be one Earth. And then more Earths were created at that point, you know, because of different decisions being made, alternate universes and all that kind of stuff happened because of that. The baseline would be an Earth with all of those heroes on it. However, somehow this Earth with Superman on it only has Superman on it. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. They're just closing up. They're just closing up things.
Which, if you revert back to other things that we know, tells us that the John that they've been meeting in Superman and Lois is a different John Diggle than the one that we were seeing before, which fucks a whole lot of other stuff up too. It makes it all not make sense.
Well, could it be that Diggle on Diggle where Flash is didn't choose the box, but on Superman's Earth, what if he does?
That tracks if those other heroes exist on that Earth. Because if he's on that Earth, he hasn't had those different adventures that would lead him to the point where that box would choose him.
True. I was going to say, unless everyone on that Earth is just starting at where Crisis left off, and then they just went from there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, he hasn't had all those times with Oliver and all that to get to the point where he becomes the kind of hero that box would choose. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that wouldn't really make sense either. It's all a fucking shitstorm, and I hate it. Why do they do that? We wanted to tell our own story with Superman and blah, 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 blah. You lied to us, all right? Not by what you said, but by what you implied. Yeah. You put it on the CW. You used Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yeah. You use the same Lois and all that. You know, you gave him two sons, but I figured that was one of those weird Crisis things. Like, oh, they ended up having two sons instead of that daughter they had. Whatever. Okay. But yeah. You made us think that it was connected because you threw John Diggle in there too, you know? I don't accept this. I'm not okay with this. Let's talk about this actual episode, though, and I can get over, move past my gripes with the fuck they did, because honestly, I hate that shit. And I really didn't like anything else in this episode, if I'm being completely honest with you either.
It
I don't know
wasn't.
how I don't
It
know how
was
you
very,
felt, but yeah, it was for me. It was just like I was very underwhelmed.
yeah. I was gonna say it wasn't as like bring it on home.
Yeah, first season of Superman and Lois, phenomenal. This one was not. It started off great because I was like, oh, they're doing Doomsday already. No, Bizarro. Okay, I can get with Bizarro. Okay, what are we doing with this now?
It's
Oh,
not
this.
really Bizarro, but it's Parasite.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like this, and it's not even really Parasite. Like it was just like,
It's a whatever.
yeah, Bizarro World Parasite kind of thing. And he's just like this. This isn't. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to this particular episode. I'm sorry. It was just so right now the merge is happening. Let's see, we got a newspaper lady. What was her name? I keep forgetting.
Chrissy.
Yeah, her. She's telling everybody what's happening, in a video form. They don't know where Cal is. But it's obvious he's been swept up into Bizarro Earth because that's what happened to a lot of people. And yeah.
Yes.
So, the primary family, the Kents / Natalie, are in Bizarro Earth. Let's see, some things have changed, others, some things have moved over, other things have not. Just one of those like, okay, so some things from their Earth are in Bizarro Earth, and some things from Bizarro Earth are in their Earth. Natalie's not okay because she's convinced, her father, John Henry Irons, is like just, oh, what the fuck's happening with him?
Floating around in nothing.
Then we find out he's actually been trying to communicate with her through the tablet. While that's all going down, Tal shows up. He's like, yo, let me help y'all out because, reasons. Then, we got some flashes happening. Everybody but Lois gets sent back to their Earth, which at the time I was like, Earth Prime. It's not Earth Prime. I couldn't find that out later. I didn't realize at the time that that's not Earth Prime. Then we got big.
Really burned you up.
Huh?
So I know it really burns you up.
It does. Because it's just what made this all so interesting was the fact that it was all a connected universe. They just pretty much said, fuck that.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with trying to create a shared universe with shows on a network that be very fast and loose with everything.
Yeah. Because you do wonder, like in these kind of things, which is like a cataclysmic kind of thing where Earths are merging, like you would call the rest of the Justice League for
That's
this.
what I was saying. Like when I started watching The Flash right afterwards, I was like, I wonder, were they experiencing that shit or not?
Yeah, because they are on the shared universe. Like Kara's there. He could have called Kara for help.
Right.
So, yeah. He could have called that Earth Superman for help. Like there's like just so much stuff that like the Flash could have done because we know they're on the same Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we didn't find out that they say Big Daddy Lane is on Bizarro Earth. Also, he finds he finds Lois there and like, oh yeah, I'm here too. Bizarro Lois is actually on what I thought at the time was Earth Prime. Still, it's not Earth Prime, but she's there. Taro goes on his own to go face Allie. He gets his ass whooped, but Jordan goes to help him and saves him from dying.
Mm-hmm. He knocks her also into nothing.
Yeah. Clark's like, yo, I can do this. I can stop her. I don't know. I don't understand.
Just throw me into the sun and I got it.
Yeah. Like suddenly he knows how to stop. Why didn't you do it before then? Like if you knew
Bruh,
what to do, why didn't you do it before
it's
when you
been like
had your
2 days.
power?
It's been like
Like
2 days, and you telling me already you didn't like you could have been done that.
when you still had your powers, you could have done this then. Like, why didn't you do it before? Because it's just all it took was for you to get your powers back and recharge, and all of a sudden you can defeat this being. Like, what the fuck? Why didn't you do it before?
Guess
Well,
he
anyway,
needed to have
it's
all that shit drained.
like Taro, throw me into the sun. I'll be able to come back and I'll stop her.
Yeah.
How? How? So then we go back to Bizarre World. See, Big Daddy Lane disappears. Lois finds Kyle.
And then he eventually gets flipped back to regular.
Yeah, they blink him back. We got Clark and Tal. They're at the Sun, and Tal throws him on in there eventually.
Natalie finds John Henry.
Yeah. So she goes out to him. She only got part of his message though, because he wanted to bring XK up there, and she didn't because she didn't know that the pod was for you. Blah blah blah. But she has some XK in there anyway, I guess, and they do that. Kyle gets blinked back to their Earth. Big Daddy Lane gets to the farm. John and Jordan are tripping. This is the point where he tells them that, like, oh, I'm from the DOD. I've seen so much stuff, so many different Earths and all the different stuff and all the different heroes of different Earths. And that's when he's like, we only have Superman. And good thing we do. Because blah, blah, blah. What?
I was gonna say, I have the quote for you.
Go ahead.
Because he's Earth's greatest hero. He said, I've been working for the DOD for a long time. I've seen things you would not believe, glimpses of other worlds and the leagues of superheroes they have on.
Like the Justice League?
Yes. And even though we only have your father on this planet, thank God that we do, because he's the finest of any Earth.
So he's finer than the Superman.
His cousin anymore?
Well, on this Earth, he don't know about that cousin. Because on this Earth, there's only him. Now on the other Earths, he's got Kara and he's there. So he's saying like the Superman on this Earth is better than the Superman on Earth Prime, because he's pretty dope too. And there's other help, like his cousin Kara, like having two super people, But yeah. And that was the moment I was just like, oh, okay, so fuck the Arrowverse is what y'all are saying. Like, it's
there's a whole article where the showrunner kind of talks. They did an interview about it on Entertainment Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post it in the group.
Okay. Any highlights?
Well, I guess they were just asking kind of like, how do they explain that? And then, or like, not even really how they explain it. They just kind of were like, the showrunner was like, I don't know if I would specifically define it as not in the Arrowverse as per se. Maybe it's not that binary. It's more that the events in our show are not taking place on the same Earth as the current Arrowverse.
Yeah, so not in the Arrowverse. Like what? That's fucking stupid. Like I wouldn't say it's not in the Arrowverse, but it's not at the same place as the Arrowverse. Yeah, so it's not the Arrowverse. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. To the point where like next season comes out, I don't know if I care enough to watch it anymore. Like, what the hell?
I won't lie, maybe because it's not part of it. I actually it's probably why I mean, except for this kind of dull finale, I feel like that's kind of why I enjoy it better, because it's not like I'm not sitting here constantly thinking. I won't be sitting constantly thinking about like, why the fuck, ain't Barry helping with this shit?
I mean, I was thinking that until now.
Well,
Like
yeah,
it was a constant thing of like, why would you not call your cousin right now? Like there's zero reason why Kara shouldn't be here.
true. I think
Zero reason.
I just also just
Other than the
enjoy.
fact that she doesn't exist on your earth, which is what they gave us. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I hate it. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, I think just damn, I lost my whole train of thought. I think I just like watching. I enjoy watching Superman and Lois solve it themselves.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. I mean, if you want just that Superman show by itself, without those other things existing, that would make sense. The
Yeah, it's
problem
just
is
is
the
that
way it
they
was
led
presented to us when it first started.
and introduced as
Yes.
this was them. Because I think when we first started, I think I was asked about that. I was like, what fucking year are they in that the kids are already fucking teenagers?
Yeah.
And
And the
it
way I
kind of
explained it away was just one of those things where they merged all those other Earths together to make one Earth. And in one of those other Earths that existed, they had those two suns, and that was the one they used. Like it was just like, to me, it was just like it's just some weird multiverse stuff because they made one Earth and that's what transferred over. I was okay with that because who knows what existed in the whole multiverse of things, clearly. But the problem is, like I said, with Crisis, we were told there was only one Earth. And even if we follow that logic of Crisis on Two Earths, where it's just like every decision somebody makes creates a second Earth, another universe in itself. One when you make the decision, one when you didn't.
that's me.
I saw it. I got an icon right here. But the baseline is an Earth where all these heroes exist now. So it's just like even any alternate Earth you create from this point forward has to have all them in it because of the logic that you started. It's just like,
Yeah.
and part of what drew me into this was just like, yo, we got like DC's. I hate to do this, but it's like DC's version of the MCU on television, It was like a TV version of what MCU did, but with DC characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a very good job of making it happen for quite a while.
Yeah.
And if it was going to be its own thing, Superman its own thing that wasn't connected to the Arrowverse at all, fucking tell me that. Instead of me waiting for you to do something to make it connect, That's really my thing. It's just like, yo, if you had told me that from the beginning, I would have been fine. Because it was pretty clear with Stargirl that wasn't the same Earth. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm okay with that.
Because I feel like I was very confused about where Stargirl was taking place. I was like, I know we have seen like the JSA before in the Arrowverse, and then I know like Jay as the Flash showed up randomly. But I was just like, I don't really understand how any of this takes place on the same Earth.
Yeah, it was very clear that it was a different Earth to me. Like it was just one of those things like it wasn't connected at all because of the way it was presented. But the thing is,
even with Naomi's, or even like I was gonna say Naomi's Earth as well, didn't seem like she was on the same Earth. She wasn't on Earth Prime either.
Yeah, they made it very clear that it was not the same Earth. Like it was just like, but Superman and Lois played with that, even giving us fucking John Diggle for so long. And it's like, this is why it bothers me so much. Because it's like, I felt like you lied to me. I don't like being lied to.
I feel like if because like that's what I was saying. Like that is just like a lot of it didn't add up to me, but I guess so. But I get that. It does feel very much like they used that as leverage and then was like, got it.
Yeah. So I think at this point was when my signal got all fucked up. So like got messed up. I know John Henry Irons and Natalie did something that made the merger stop. What did they do?
I don't even know. It was like 1 minute they did something, and then it was Allie noticing that Clark was supercharging, and I was like, well, who is she gonna stop? Oh, who is she going after? And the next thing I knew, like they were fighting, and then whatever, Clark separated them by Matrix punching the shit out. No, not
Yeah, I
Matrix.
remember her going after John Henry Irons and Natalie because she's pissed off that they stopped whatever she was doing, and Clark stopped her from going after them. And
Oh gosh. And then he what is it? The wise one from Doctor Strange her out of her body.
yeah, and what my thing is, if you could do this all, why didn't you do this before? Like, what's different now as opposed to before when you first went up against her?
Maybe he didn't know that the supercharge from the sun would do all that to him.
Was he supercharged? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he had like veins on his suit that were like glowing like red and shit. Like he looked like, if you recall from like the Flash episode, just this week's, when they had those vests or harnesses on them to like when they were trying to tap into the negative speed force, which we will talk about. Clark had like sparks like that around him as he like came out of the sun.
I guess.
That's why I was just like, I wonder. That's why when you said like, why did he do the furrow? Like, did he know that shit would do that? Because when everyone was questioning like, why would you do this? And he was like, I think that's what she was gonna say. You think?
Yeah. I thought that was just for him to get his powers back, period, not necessarily for him to like become more powerful.
He wanted to because his cells were taking too long to.
Right. And I just thought him being thrown into the sun was just going to get him back to where he was before, not like put him like over the top powerful. And I was like, okay.
No, just because like that's why Tao was like, I was circling around the sun for like weeks before I came back.
Well, yeah, when he was the eradicator, yeah.
And that's when Clark was like, well, throw me in that bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally throw me on the surface of the sun. So like it would be like not even just being around it. Cause like when he flies up into space, he's just like, oh, like
and nuts all over himself. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. It's what is the thing that plants do with the sea?
Photosynthesis?
Yeah, photosynthesis. It was like that. But only this time it was like hooking him up to like a super battery.
Yeah, so he does some shit in the alley. Some cows separate. They're like two different people again. I don't know. Whatever. Why didn't he do this before? Still, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't. You could be like, oh, well, his mother didn't tell him before. Why didn't he ask his mama before? Like whenever I don't know what to do.
Powers,
like if I ever do in this situation, honestly, whenever I don't know what to do, I call my mama. Like it's like.
Well, he did ask her for help. She like when the world
after he lost all his powers.
Oh well, yeah. Well, he thought he had it handled up until he lost his shit.
Even after he lost his shit, how long did it take him to go and ask his mama?
A day.
Was it just a day?
That I don't know. I'm making an assumption. I mean, a day is still probably like a day wasted, but like.
I'm just like, it felt like so much time went by before he went to talk to his mama.
No, I feel that. Because I mean, if it was me, I'd have been, as soon as I got like checked out of the DOD, I'd have been like, yo, take me up there.
Like he has his Kryptonian, had his Kryptonian parents. Now he just has his mama. But like he had his Kryptonian parents at his beck and call who know way more than he does about shit. Like when this whole thing was going down, he should have talked to them in the first place. And if somehow they have the answer now and didn't have the answer before, well, you need better AI. Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm so frustrated by this whole Superman and Lois thing, Mar. Like it showed so much promise the first season.
I
Like, yo,
know.
this show was so good the first season.
It was amazing. The fact that Tal is still even around, I love it.
That's cool as hell. He's far more interesting than Clark. Like, it's just like, but yeah, he somehow separates the Alice, and then he like goes around the
Separates the
earth.
earth.
Yeah,
Oh
goes
yeah.
around, flies around the earth all the time, a la that Superman movie where he somehow is able to fly around the earth so fast that it like goes backwards in time. And he also did it
I
on
was
Super
thinking about
Friends.
that. I was really just kind of like, if he does this too long, would he like what would happen? Is he gonna reverse our like
Yeah, so in one of the Superman movies, and also in an episode of Super Friends, Superman flies around the earth in the opposite direction that it rotates so fast that it makes the earth rotate in that other direction, which moves everybody on that earth reverse in time, which I feel like is what it was referring to when they did this, to make the earth split, to go back to where they were. And then he punches the earth so hard somehow that they go ahead and divide.
that he doesn't like break it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how that works. They don't explain how that works. It's just a thing. We're just supposed to accept it.
Yeah. It's just what he did.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what
We
comes
saw
next.
what happens. What do you
No, I
mean?
mean like the next season.
I don't want to wait till the next season because honestly, I have zero motivation to watch the next season. It's not interesting anymore. That's my problem. This shit isn't interesting to me anymore.
Because it lost its multiverse, but not multiverse.
It's not even just that. Part of it is them lying to me, yes. But even the story itself with Superman and Lois isn't interesting anymore. First season, like I said, phenomenal. This season started off phenomenal. Teasing Doomsday and then not giving us Doomsday. I hate that shit too. Because I always expected Superman and Lois to give us Doomsday because you have a Superman show. Why would you not do the Doomsday story, which is
typically
arguably the best Superman story ever told when Superman is actually really vulnerable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't give that to us. Instead, they gave us some other shit with like Bizarro shit. And it was just like,
And it wasn't even a solid Bizarro story.
Yeah, and I had faith that it would be, and it wasn't. But you, like, with the Doomsday story, give us a foe that really can go toe-to-toe with Superman and whoop his ass and kill him if he, like, if he pushes hard enough, which is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But without that, like, I really have a hard time feeling like there's a villain you can put in front of me that can legitimately defeat Superman. Even with this, it was like, yeah, clearly he's down, but he's not out. He'll be back. Like, I have no reason to believe he's not going to get his powers back and come back. Like, who cares? Doomsday actually killed him. And I was thinking, like, oh, you giving us this pretty early. I wasn't expecting it till season like 3 or 4, but they went ahead and did it, but then they didn't do it. And because they teased us with it that way, they can't actually do it next season now.
Nope.
Why the fuck would you do that? Like, you put him in that Doomsday suit on purpose. You did that on purpose to make us think there was Doomsday. And then you switched it over to Bizarro. And it wasn't even really Bizarro. Like, it was Bizarro without really being Bizarro. And they did a whole Bizarro Earth thing. And I'm so frustrated.
I know.
I just want it to be so much better than it was. I really do. But yeah, all that shit happens. Smallville Miracle Day, celebrating Superman, all that kind of shit. Lois goes to newspaper lady and tells her that Clark is Superman.
Chrissy.
Yeah, her. We got Jordan and Sarah talking about stuff, and she's like, "It all makes sense now with who you are and who your dad is." Blah blah blah.
She apologized for the kiss at camp.
Yeah, yeah. Like they start over and figure out everything now from that point. Blah blah blah. John and Jordan get new trucks from Uncle Tal, and let me just point out this is my favorite part of the episode because I'm that kind of uncle who would like get the nephew shit that the parents would never get them because fuck you, I do what I want. Like if I had give the nephews brand new trucks money, I would get the nephews brand new trucks when the parents said they can't get a car yet. I would do it because who gonna check me? And just like, oh, you're the younger sibling. And they were like, okay, yeah, but what they gonna do? I'm a grown ass man. They have a truck now. It's in their name. So what are you gonna do?
Right. They now own a truck.
But the teenagers, their insurance is gonna be, I'm paying it. So why do you what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I've insured it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Nothing but let them drive the fucking truck. Mind your business. This ain't about you right now. That's what I was saying. My brother would probably be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. My sister would probably trip. But my brother would be like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, Tal apparently is on Bizarro Earth, and he's probably going to be in there or Superman now because he can. What the fuck? Who cares?
John Diggle shows up again.
Yeah, but not our John Diggle. It's a different John Diggle. So fuck him. I don't care. Maybe this is the Earth where Justice U is going to take place if they do the show.
Well, pretty much he asked him about to find this dude called Bruno Manhide or Nanhide.
Yeah,
the guy who killed
that Earth. Yeah.
John Henry.
Yeah.
Lucy and Lois are good.
Yeah, and he's Big Daddy Lane's taking Lucy somewhere.
Hopefully an asylum.
Something. Clark and family are out in the water in the middle of the ocean, and he's gonna create a new fortress. He's gonna throw the little crystal out there to make the new fortress and shit. But yeah, that's really it. Different Earth, different John, bullshit. That's what I have in my notes right there. I hate it. Like you know what? No, I don't hate it. I just don't care because it's all stupid.
Two different kinds of feelings, but I get it.
Yeah, very different. It's just like, this is dumb. I hate it. It's not what I'm feeling, but it's what it is. My actual feelings are, this is dumb, therefore I don't care. But yeah, that was Superman and Lois. Anything other thoughts on that? Anything else?
No.
Cool. Flash. Name of the episode.
Negative part 2.
Yeah, because last week was negative part 1. So this episode just kicks off with Thawne talking shit, and Thawne talking shit is fun to me. I enjoy Thawne talking shit. I enjoy most people talking shit, if I'm being completely honest with myself. Barry's about to kill him, but the kids talk him out of it, which I think is trash. Like hashtag FTK, like for real. Like they're ruining everything. We go ahead and eliminate Thawne. So many problems are dealt with. Like Thawne himself even says, your mistake was not killing me. So Barry, kill him now. The world is a better place without him.
And you know that for facts.
Yeah, 100% facts. The world is a better place without Eobard Thawne. So kill him. He's the last one. Kill him. There is no more Thawne if you kill this Thawne.
Right? Like he just ripped the face off of the other. So
like the negative forces did most of the work for you, killing all the other ones. So kill this one. And it's over. It's the only gripe I've got with Batman. Like, kill the fucking Joker, dude. Like, it's just
like so many people can be saved.
Yeah, kill the Joker. Anyway. So Barry's like, yo, I'm just going to the negative speed force. We can fix all this. Like, we can find Thawne in there and kill him and end this all. Nora and Bart say they'll do it. Oh, they try to talk him out of it. Then we got Iris in this place with Damien Dark, or his, stored memories, consciousness thing. I don't know.
His time stone.
Like, even now, Mara, I don't give a shit about what's happening with Iris. Like, it's just, you would think after last week, her dying in front of everyone and all that, and then her appearing here like, oh my God, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I know I should. Last week it was crazy, her dying and all that. I'm like, oh snap, they went there, and they really did. To me, that's what they acted like they went there and didn't actually go there. Teasing is only good for an extent. And after what happened with Superman and Lois, I know that's not the showrunners at The Flash's fault. But following up with what happens on The Flash, with what had just happened on Superman and Lois the night before, I was tired of bullshit. So Barry's like, yo, fast track. Help me, nigga. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she helps him tap into the negative speed force and go back along with the kids because they refuse to let Barry go alone. Bashir is the fear force, right?
What?
Bashir is the fear force, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't remember what kind of force he was. I just kept calling him the psychic force.
I believe it's the fear force. Let me just make sure. Yeah, he's the fear force.
There we go.
So he's contacting Cecile. And he's the reason why she powered up like that. We got the negative forces with Thawne, and they're gonna basically transform him to tip the scales.
They said we're gonna retrain you.
Yeah. And then Damien Dark goes to Iris and just like, the forces were using you, and they basically as an incubator to bring forth all this stuff they've been working on. And even after all this, we still don't know really when Iris got the time sickness. Like, when did this happen?
Or from where?
Yeah, we assume it somehow comes from negative forces, but we don't know how they did it, when they did it, or anything like that. It's just, I need an explanation to this. Like, it's you. When you show the gun in Act 1, that gun better go off in Act 3. And the gun did not go off in Act 3. It's just, we need to know when this happened or how it happened, because the vagueness is not working for me.
It's killing me.
I wouldn't say it's killing me, just making me not want to watch the show. Like, it's just, that's really what it is. So yeah, they turned out they're in the time stone that they got, during Armageddon. Mm-hmm. Fast Track is like, yo, I'm going to destroy this machine because fuck this. Barry talks her out of it, like, yo, we got to use it so you can help me get into the negative speed force. Jay and wife, I forgot her name because
Nora.
is that Nora? Is her name Nora?
I think so.
I didn't think her name was Nora on that earth. That's why I didn't put that. But yeah. But they show up to see Joe because they're tracking shit with Iris and like let them know that Iris is in the time stone when they look at it. We got Cecile. She's trying to get in contact with the positive forces with the help of the other two psychic metas. Okay. So yeah, that's happening. It works. Bashir comes through. I could just filibuster right now, but I'm not good at that. But I'll pretend I am. Once again, they killed the Arrowverse people. It's not a thing anymore. And with that in mind, I don't even know if this podcast will continue after this. We'll see. I don't know. Probably not. We'll probably be doing something else. So stay tuned for that. It'll be fun, I promise you. However, it is 4th of July weekend. I personally don't think, America deserves a birthday party this year, but we'll do something. I'll do it because it's a day off, I'll always take a free day off. I'm cool with that. Mara's back now. How are you? Everything okay?
Yeah, I heard a thud and I thought Luna's iPad had fallen or she had fallen or something. The box had fallen off my dryer, but she's good.
So you're saying she didn't fall out of her bed?
Correct.
Is it bad that I'm disappointed?
A little bit.
Her bed's not high enough to where she'd be seriously hurt by falling out of bed.
I know, but why would you want my child to hurt? But my fear is that
it won't hurt. That's the thing. She'll just fall out of bed. And it's funny when kids fall out of bed for no reason.
Well, I guess because you also don't know the makeup of her bed. Like she has a night table. So I would always get nervous that like, what if her head hits on the table and like her neck cracks or some shit? These are things that can happen.
This is not Final Destination. Okay.
Is it not?
I need you to get that out of your head.
I can't.
That's not a regular occurrence. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen?
It's a regular thing. I just think there's a chance it could happen.
There's a chance of a lot of things. There's a chance that a plane can crash into the building you live in right now. So it's just, if you're living off there's a chance that something can happen, you'll never be satisfied. Just accept that the most likely thing is what's going to happen. When you hear hoof beats in the distance, think horses, not zebras, okay?
Unless you're in a place that most likely.
But you don't live in a place with that. That's my point. Because you're going like, unless you live, but you don't. That is exactly my point. That's not what's going to happen.
I won't hold you your puppet when you moved your arm because I finally saw him. Scared the hell out of me.
Wait, say that again?
Your arm, the puppet in the back.
Oh, Carl?
You were kind of blocking it before, so I never noticed it until like your hand and your body shifted. And all of a sudden I saw a face and I was just like,
yeah, he's very much more visible now because the table I was using to put together the arm cannon for my cosplay is not here anymore. So this is all open space now and not blocking that. But yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you saw the pictures from the con, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bow.
First time I actually like for real cosplayed. It was fun. But anyway, time stone stuff, Cecile stuff. She gets in contact with the positive forces through Fear Force. Bashir, blah blah. Bashir comes through. He's the reason why Cecile got all that power. We got Barry. He goes into the negative speed, forced to go after Thawne. Doesn't go the way he thinks it will. Basically, he gets, accosted by the negative force, and they just basically talk some shit and then kick him out. What were you about to say?
Snap him back. Nothing.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, then we get back and we find out through Chester there's just a whole lot of negative stuff happening downtown. Just downtown is very negative in their vibe. Thawne's out there. He shows up and he's all buffed out in a new black suit. Yeah.
Right. Super Thawne.
Yeah. He has the power of all the forces in him. That's how they tip the scales, I guess. Dark tells Iris she has unfinished business. I'm like, okay, Casper the Friendly Ghost. I don't know how many of you saw that movie, but yeah. It's a
cult classic.
Yeah. But yeah, she has to find her own way out. To do that, she has to reignite the spark that's there, connection that they have between her and Barry, because I guess she's like, you're my lightning rod too, blah, blah, blah. Speedsters, though, are there to fight Thawne. And then somehow Thawne just sends all of them except Barry way back into the past, like prehistoric times kind of thing. Then we got Cecile powering up. Thawne is kicking Barry's ass, but the positive forces are all back. And Marley did a thing. That thing I hate. They came together and held hands to give Barry all their power. At least it was a thing that built to something else happening. And the holding hands and staring thing was not what ended everything. They didn't 100% commit to the Care Bear stare. It was just, let's hold hands and come together, and we'll give all of our power to Barry. But how come when Thawne gets all the powers from the negative forces, he gets a new suit and all buffed out and shit, but Barry doesn't?
He just gets some sparks.
He just gets different colored sparks around it. Like, how come Barry didn't get a new buffed out red speedster suit kind of thing like Thawne got? Like, why?
I don't know.
Because fuck Barry and fuck the Arrowverse. That's what CW said. They have zero respect for what they built. That's what I'm going with. You got Thawne and Barry fighting. They like just tearing the city apart. Iris gets out and she goes to Barry like, yo, you got to stop this. You're tearing everything apart.
Because technically, if they keep going, they'll start Armageddon anyway.
Yeah. And, he finally slows down and stops, lets Jaden like, yo, get her out of here. And he just sits down in the middle of the street and starts meditating and refuses to fight. And Thawne can't hurt him because he's not doing anything negative, so he can't affect him with his negative speed, force, and negative force power. But it's like fucking the whole city up, but somehow with Barry's meditation, he can just like reverse everything.
Yeah.
Just fix it all with meditation, because that's a thing now.
And Thawne implodes from it.
I don't know where that came from or who decided that was a thing without explaining to us that it was a thing. But it's a thing now.
And Thawne imploded on himself.
Yeah, and he's actually from what they said when they got back to Star Labs, he's like erased from all timelines and shit too. So it's just like he just don't exist no more. So Dr. Darwin just like, yo, I no longer have my speed, and I'm okay with that because I didn't want to be a speedster to begin with.
Hey, that's honest.
Turns out Cecile is telekinetic now. She can actually move stuff with her mind.
That's her Xavier shit.
Yeah. Old girl from Coast City, her mama's back. So she got to reunite with her mama.
Tanya.
Yeah, her. Then we got some weird Frost shit.
Yeah, Mark was knocked out while the machine said it was having some kind of issue. He opens it and doesn't really recognize who's coming out.
Yeah. So my guess is the negative forces chose Frost as their new avatar because Barry was saying like they'll find somebody to choose and they'll choose them. We'll deal with it when it comes. So yeah, it looks like they chose Frost. That's usually, well, that's not usually, but that's what I drew the conclusion of from seeing those things. But yeah, that was the Flash. So Superman and Lois finale, Flash finale. That was it. Mara, who's winning?
Everybody?
Is everybody winning?
I mean, Superman got his fortress, a new fortress. Iris survived. Well, I won't say survived. Iris is alive. For Barry, his wife is alive.
Mm-hmm. Got to pick one.
I'll go with Iris. I mean, she's like a cat. She skipped death for now. Like,
that's what I was going to go with because Iris escaped death. So I was going to say Iris is winning. Who's losing?
Dawn.
Solid answer. The other answer could have been Allie, but she's still alive. So yeah, Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, she's just in jail with herself.
Yeah. They were holding hands and everything. You think, you think they like flicking each other's bean?
Hey, if that's all you got left, and
is it masturbation if it's with your doppelganger? Because technically it is you.
Mutual masturbation.
That's what I'm saying. Is it mutual masturbation or is it masturbation? Because it's you.
I think if one is doing it, then it's masturbation. But I think if they're both doing it simultaneously, it would be some kind of weird mutual masturbation.
So if one is doing it to the other, it's just masturbation?
Yes. But if they're both like...
So if they were both sitting next to each other and reaching over and doing it to the other, it's no longer just masturbation. It becomes mutual masturbation?
Yes, that is my logic and I'm sticking to it.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you about it. I'm just trying to work this out. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't either. I mean, who's also to say that once they start that they don't like that the guards don't fucking shock them, be like, hey, cut that out.
Yeah. Like if they go full on and doing oral to each other, it's no longer masturbation then. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called at that point.
Yeah. If it's like oral at that point or scissoring and all that kind of thing, you have no idea. At that point, it's we don't know what that is anymore. But yeah, that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow tomorrow, folks. I don't know when we'll be back or if we'll be back because they basically killed the Arrowverse. We'll let you all know, Twitter and Instagram. Well, once we get our Instagram back because IG is fucking us over. But at The Creation World, that's at CREATIA World. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/creation world. You can also find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That's at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Instagram and Twitter at Marshark, MARADASHARK.
And this particular group has a Facebook group for the podcast. What is the Facebook group, Mara?
Facebook.com/groups/superflashhero of tomorrow.
Yeah, hop on there. Let us know what your thoughts are on all platforms, whether it be Facebook, IG, or Twitter. Actually, not IG, like I said, because IG is being some haters right now. So Twitter/Facebook. Let us know what you think. But I think that'll be it. Oh, yeah. Wrestling fans, check out Smack and Raw every week. Yeah. Actually coming up on the 5-year anniversary of that show at the end of July. So yeah, check that out. I'll be back on that show for that one. But yeah, I think that'll be it, Mara.
Oh, I think I got bit by another mosquito.
Did you bite it back?
No.
Well, I need you to do better. We'll catch y'all whenever we catch y'all. Until then, we out.
Bye.